Guys, we're taking a risk today. I had to cancel my claim sale, which means I did not make a dime this entire week and won't until next weekend. But if I get this collection, it could be a risk that was actually worth it. We'll see. All right, let's get it checked out. The crazy stuff's up front, you said?
Yeah.
Sweet. Alrighty, cool. All right, guys, nothing too crazy yet, but I was saved by some stuff that's going to be $5 books and a lot of full runs, full miniseries. So far, this is the stuff that's going to be $3, $4, $5, and then full runs. I still have yet to see big keys, but something tells me that might be in this short box, which we're saving for the end. So let's just keep trudging on. Okay, folks, we are done. And what we got here is we have 2 long boxes with a little bit of spillover of stuff that's worth something. So these are like the $1 to $5, although there's some like $8 and $10 things in there. That is the stuff I'm going to be bulking out. This is actually fairly typical of what you'll see in a collection. But this collection was definitely a case of saved by the last box, and fittingly, he even labeled it A for the A grade stuff. Nothing too crazy, but I'm going to show you the contents of just this box. So let's get it upstairs, let's get everything rebagged and boarded, and let's get the party started. All right, folks, so I think canceling the claim sale actually worked out really well. In a few ways, I was able to process one decent-sized collection in one day. I've got this great box to show for it. I was able to actually also finish another much smaller collection that I got earlier in the week and get some scans of the slabs that are going to go up on eBay. And by canceling the claim sale, I was also able to finish editing a video that I didn't think was going to be done until probably about Friday this week. So I'm 5 days earlier on that. I even had some leftover time that I was able to watch my first game of the season. It's kind of amazing what I can get done if I just take off one day. So it was a serious catch-up day, so this was really nice. So I think it was worth the risk in that respect. Let's go ahead and show you the best stuff in this box. Now, what this box is not going to show you is all the full runs, mini-series, maxi-series that I got that have some nice value. But I'm just going to show you the $10 and up stuff. So let's get it started. We've got classics like the Batman #1, New 52. This book has come down significantly in value, but it's still good. As always, we've got our Bane Breaks Batman's Back, $10 classic. This used to be a $20 classic, first Tim Drake, but it's actually coming down to like a 10 now. A lot of duplicates of this one, so that was good. I'm only going to show you the one. Dark Knight #1 is the first appearance of White Rabbit, and then here's your cover appearance. This is a book that actually just got really big, mainly because of the Peacemaker show. If you had both books, it used to be like a $5 combined value, and now it's like 15 or 20. Pretty crazy. The part 2 of Vengeance of Bane. No, part 1 was not there. That's okay. First appearance of Nora Freeze. We've got a couple versions of Batman vs. Predator #1, which has a nice little value associated with it. He actually had the full run, but this was just #1 that I soloed out for you guys. We've got, I don't remember which printing that is of The Killing Joke, but it looks perfect, it looks gorgeous. The value's mainly in the first printing and the 9th printing, but it's good to have. We also have classics like the Wedding issue with Pete and MJ. We have the first appearance of Menace. We've got the actual first appearance of Carnage, which is 360, not 361. Although an argument could be had that the actual first Carnage is even 359. Here's the Pete Proposes to MJ issue. This is a Scott Snyder classic. Scott Snyder is a big name right now because once again, he's crushing it with Absolute Batman. Here's his American Vampire, very good. Here is the first Jim Lee on Marvel right there, and it's a near mint newsy, which helps, Alpha Flight 51. We also have first Lady Deathstrike, very nice. We've got a book that I really do not see too much, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons #1. It's got a little value. Here's the first race with Wally West. People always like the Superman Flash races. That's a near mint. Here's the first appearance of Jackson Hyde, the new Aquaman or Aqualad. Here's a bunch of signed Nightfall stuff with COA that I'm probably actually going to keep. I don't know if I'm going to sell that stuff. I'm a massive Nightfall fan, so I don't know if I can give it up. But here's a couple more of them. Some of them are actually double signed and such. So there's some of the, I'm not even showing you all of them. There's just a couple of them. Here's a Nicieza, I think, signed Cable #1. This is cool, although I can't tell who is it from. AC something. The first TMNT trade paperback. So a signed TMNT trade paperback. That's cool. Here we have my favorite Batman comic of all time, and it's, I think, triple or quadruple signed. Jim Aparo, Doug Mensch, Terry Austin. Yeah, that's incredible. That's awesome. Another Nicieza signed book, an X-Force #1. There were a bunch of Spidey 2099 #1s. I'm just going to show you one of them. We have the first time Cap wields Mjolnir. A bunch of duplicates of Spawn #1. Good book to have a duplicate of. We had a couple Punisher #1s. Very nice. This book's down, but hey, I got the newsy. First appearance of Spot. Did have a full run of Secret Wars. We had the classic first Weapon X Wolverine. That's a near minty right there. Fun fact, Hulk #2 is the actual first Red Hulk. I know he's on the cover of #1, but that's just a cover appearance. He's not in the story. First appearance of Sabra. First appearance in cameo of Larfleeze, Atrocitus, and many, 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 many more things. Here we got the first appearance of Lilith in the Midnight Suns. We had quite a few duplicates of the first appearance of Darkhawk. We have this amazing Zek cover, my favorite artist from the 80s. We have this Neil Adams classic of the Two-Face annual, Batman Annual 14. We have the first Damian as Batman. I actually think that book's a little overvalued. Full run of The Death of the Family. I'll just show you that one. That's the most famous cover after all. Now this was actually cool. In one of the other boxes, I was looking for the full run of Batgirl, which had all the art germs. And he had the full run, but it was missing this. But in the short box, he had it. So luckily we do have a full run of the entire tough Stephanie Brown Batgirl run with all the early art germs, which are worth a good amount of money. Here we got first Hydra Man, the final reveal of Hob. We've got the full run, but it's just spread out in different boxes of Kraven's Last Hunt. We've got the final Todd McFarlane on ASM when you get Spidey punching Hulk in the nuts there. First full appearance of Archangel. First White Vision. This one's always going to be your best cover from all the Kraven's Last Hunt. The Web of Spidey Zek cover, once again, Mike Zek, I'm telling you guys. Spidey, #1 from Web, great cover. Lots of Venom Lethal Protectors, #1. I'll only show you one of them. Still a great $20 bill. The technical first appearance of Gambit. This one's just a classic cover. Jim Lee, great one. Another classic, A. Silvestri. Here we have the second appearance of Mr. Sinister, the cameo of Mr. Sinister, and I wonder if I can find it. And your first Mr. Sinister. Nice. Maybe I'll bundle them. Next up, we have the first Wolverine and Sabretooth meeting and fight. We have also this classic cover of 207. We have the technical first appearance of Cable, but as a baby. First appearance of Forge. Here's the first Batman Beyond in canon in DC Comics. We got our first Jubilee. And we have our second cameo and first cameo of Damian Wayne in comics. That in comics is important because if you remember, you actually saw him as a baby in a graphic novel years earlier. We got a Bats 423, although I need to double check. I do not know if that's the first print. It looks a little extra red. I thought it was more of a orange bursty red. So something tells me it's not the first print, but I'll take a look. We have our first appearance of the Anti-Venom. First, Cletus Cassidy. We were talking about what could arguably be the first Carnage. Well, here's the first Cletus. We got our classic first meeting of Wolverine and Deadpool. We have our first full appearance of Apocalypse. We have that Hulk 1 I was talking about, which is not the actual first appearance, but people still like to say it is. Here's one of the best comics ever written, Death of Thanos, and many, many other things. That's a must-read, in addition to being a key, of course. Now that's tough to find. That is the first manga comic book in the U.S. market there. That's really cool, that Macross. Not so easy to find either. And believe it or not, this past year I actually purchased and sold a 9.8 of that. What If number 10, first Jane as Thor. Here we've got first Patch. And we got another good one. This can be up to like 75, 80 bucks. Sometimes even, depending on where you're looking, 100 in near mint. And this is like mint. Just a classic Joe Fix-It cover. There were actually quite a few duplicates of this. So that's awesome. That is an example where I might do some grading because I know the 9.8 is a nice jump up from the mint raw value. There's another one, see? Full run of the original mini. Bam, nice. Great condition too. Second appearance of Gambit. Some people like to say first full appearance. A gorgeous, might have to get it graded 141. I was actually concerned it was a reprint. It looks so good. And I know that's got a nice 9.8 too, so I might give it a shot. Then we have our first Psylocke. New Mutants Annual 2. It's a newsie too, which adds a little value. Then we got the actual first Cable. Very nice. Another gradable candidate here. In fact, I actually found like the best books in this box were seemingly all the ones that were actually near mint to mint, which is really nice. But we'll see. I'm not doing a lot of grading right now, but we'll see. First chronological black suit, that is. Nice. Looks like these might have gotten out of order, but I had a full run of first print Dark Knight Returns. Nice. Always surprises me what those go for, especially how many people picked it up, but I'm not going to argue. Very nice. Another good book to have some dupes of. We had some crispy clean first appearance of Carnages in here. Here's another one right here. Boom. Very nice. Good book to have a dupe of. 298. Some people say it's actually the first technical Venom. I think it's a really weak cameo, but if you count cameos, hey, I'm of the camp where I think 299 is the first appearance of Venom. 298 being the first Todd McFarlane on ASM. We, of course, also have the 301 looking real good. That's a tough one. We have a potential graded candidate of New Mutants 98, folks. That's the first appearance of Deadpool. Got a great value there, raw and graded. Probably just keep that raw. Maybe I'll keep it in some Mylar at the shop. That's gorgeous. I've been really lucky with Hulk 340s lately. Just so lucky. I've been getting quite a few in, and they all seem to be near mint. So maybe I should do some grading once again. I know that that's one where the 9.6 and 9.8 have a big push past the raw value, but whatever. I got a few of them. Good thing to have a few of right now. X-Men. I'm actually desperately in need of Silver Age X-Men, so I love it in any condition too. Let that be known. I am heavily buying Silver Age X-Men. If you guys got it, reach out to me. I'd love to talk. We also have first appearance of Mara. This was a very kind of, I thought, Marvel collection, but we did have some stuff like that, so that's really cool. First Lightning Lad and Chameleon Boy. I forget, it's also like the third Supergirl or third Legion. I don't remember. What's it? Action at the 10 center. 267. It's actually really nice. It's really nice. And I think we'll probably end with what is probably the best book, which is a true near mint and newsy. ASM 300, what the majority of people like to say is the first appearance of Venom. I, at best, call it the first full appearance of Venom. In fact, don't forget, we are actually doing a 9.8 of this book in direct edition as our 50,000 subscriber giveaway winner, so don't forget about that. Make sure you're subscribed and liked. But this guy is awesome. I think this makes it worth it right here. This one I am for sure getting graded. I didn't really see a problem with it. So I'm going to look again, open it up, count the pages, do all that stuff. But that's definitely going to be one book that should go out to get graded. If the Newsy can get the 9.8, I know there's a big, massive jump over the raw value. So we'll see. We will see. So I think if it were just this collection, canceling a claim sale might not have been the best thing, but if I do some grading, I think that's going to push us past the point where it did financially make sense. But also, I got a lot of peace of mind, and I was able to finish another video editing-wise. I was able to process another collection. I was able to take some scans of eBay. So I really loved having the extra day back on my plate. And honestly, this is just going to make next Sunday's claim sale even better. So I'm looking forward to it. As always, folks, don't forget to subscribe. Keep on hunting, and I'll see you at the next video. Some of you know that I have a room set up in an antique shop in New Jersey. Well, I seem to be doing okay because people know me from YouTube. They come and see the stuff. But a lot of the other vendors rely heavily on foot traffic. And there has been construction not only blocking the sideway, but actually so far as blocking the entrance of our stinking building for like 3 months now. Most people know to come and park somewhere else, but it's really hurting the foot traffic for the other vendors. So for the foreseeable future, to help the other guys out in this building, I'm just going to say that if you get at least one thing from any other vendor, all my $10 and under stuff is going to be 30% off.